The Sun Belt Conference takes center stage Thursday for this late October matchup between South Alabama and Georgia State. Both programs are neck-and-neck in the conference's standings with 21 records, and both are coming off of wins. This will be just the Panthers' second home game at Georgia State Field, their new venue that is a reconfiguration of the Atlanta Braves' Turner Field, since August 31. Hurricane Irma forced Georgia State 33-21 Sun Belt and Memphis to scrap their September 30 contests, thus taking away a home game for the Panthers. Georgia State returned home last week and fell to Troy 3,410. After going 14 in September, South Alabama 34-21 has fared much better in October. The Jaguars have beaten Louisiana Tech and Troy this month and will look to end the month with a road win at Georgia State. South Alabama has won 4 of 6 against Georgia State since these two teams first met in 2010, including last year's meeting in Mobile, 13-10. South Alabama at Georgia State kickoff Thursday, October 26 at 7:30 p.m. ET-TV channel ESPNU spread South Alabama 2-3 things to watch. 1. South Alabama running back Xavier Johnson with his 33-yard carry early against Louisiana Monroe. Johnson became South Alabama's all-time leading rusher. He'll look to further distance himself from the pack Thursday night. Johnson enters this game with 2,673 rushing yards in his career, including 448 and 4 touchdowns this season. He had 99 yards and a score on 11 carries against the Warhawks. His best game thus far came against Idaho on September 23 when he broke out for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. He'll have his hands full against a Georgia State defense that ranks in the top 48th in the FBS against the run, allowing 144 rushing yards per game. Last year, Johnson had 83 yards on 18 carries in the 13-10 win over the Jaguars. 2. Georgia State quarterback Connor Manning began his collegiate career at Utah in 2014, but transferred a year later. The Utes' loss has been the Panthers' gain. Manning finished with 2,684 passing yards and 16 touchdowns in his first year in Atlanta in 2016. His 13 interceptions, however, were tied for the second most in the Sun Belt. So far this season, Manning has 7 touchdowns, but he also has 5 thrown, 5 interceptions. Despite his propensity for turnovers, the talent is there. Manning battered Louisiana Monroe's secondary for 446 yards and 4 touchdowns earlier this year, and he leads the conference with a 66.5% completion rate and is fourth at 252.7 passing yards per game. 3. South Alabama safety Jeremy Reaves has pretty much been wherever the football has for the Jaguars defense this year. Throughout his 4 years in Mobile, he has established himself as one of the best at his position, and he's put together an impressive collection of stats for his senior season. Reaves, who was named the Sun Belt Conference's Co-Defensive Player of the Week after recording an interception, a fumble recovery and posting 8 tackles against Louisiana Monroe, could make for a challenging night for Georgia State's Manning. All told, Reaves has recorded 51 tackles, a sack, 2 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries through 7 games. He's also forced 2 fumbles and deflected 6 passes. Final analysis: it's no secret Georgia State has struggled mightily this season. Losing 560 to powerhouse Penn State is understandable, but pulling out a 2,721 win against Charlotte ISNT. With talents like quarterback Connor Manning and wide receiver Penny Hart 587 receiving yards, 6 TDs, the Panthers should be more consistent, as they showed in their 4,737 win against Louisiana Monroe last week. South Alabama has come together in October, and a recent 198 victory over Troy has added to its momentum. Jeremy Reaves is a monster in the secondary, and running back Xavier Johnson has been the key cog for the Jaguars' offense. South Alabama should cap a perfect October with a road win Thursday night in Atlanta. Prediction: South Alabama 31, Georgia State 28, written by Elton Hayes, who is part of the Athlon Contributor Network. A sports reporter for the Meridian Star newspaper, Hayes also has been an invited guest on the Paul Feinbaum Show. Follow him on Twitter at @Ed12. Top photo courtesy of @JR1Era.